Hey YouTube, it's Jessica. So I'm doing my pregnancy update. 21 weeks and 2 days. And so I told you guys at the last video that I did that I was going to be finding out what the baby was. So we found out last Thursday what the baby was, and today is Sunday. So I really haven't had a chance to tell you. It's been a busy weekend. I also told you guys that Tuesday was the election day and that I may or may not be disappointed. However, if I was disappointed, at least I would have Thursday to look forward to. Well, let me just start off by saying that the pregnancy is going very well. The cerclage is holding perfectly. Everything is wonderful. My fluid levels are normal. The baby's measurements are normal. Everything is great. Also, I have not had, if you watched my video, my symptoms after the cerclage, I had a little bit of an incident with an uncomfortable feeling. That has not came back. So everything's been going very well. I was very disappointed with the outcome of the election. Extremely disappointed, but what are you going to do? So I had Thursday to look forward to. And we found out that the baby is a boy. So excited. And I had told you guys too in my last video that the ultrasound tech had actually assumed that it was a girl. But at that sonogram, I was only 12 and a half weeks. And she told me not to accept that just yet, that she could be wrong, and that because I was only 12 and a half weeks, it was just too early to tell. Well, I also told you guys that my mother had actually accepted that I was having a girl for sure, because pretty much with the ultrasound tech just went in one ear and out the other. And my mother had went out and bought me baby girl stuff. And I told her not to do that, but she did anyways. She bought me a shirt with a pink heart, a pink baby hat, and then a rattle with pink hearts. And I told her, I said, you know, you really shouldn't have done that. You know, if you're going to buy anything, make sure it's neutral. But she had gotten that stuff in Chicago on vacation visiting some families, so she couldn't take it back. However, a friend of mine had a baby girl a couple of weeks ago, so I'm going to go ahead and just give her that stuff. And my mother was like, it's a boy. I could have swore they said it was a girl. And I told my mom, I said, look, she said not to accept that just yet. She said it looked like a girl, but I was only 12 and a half weeks. You can't be sure at that point in your pregnancy. So I'm just going to show you guys this real quick. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, because I know there's going to be a little bit of a glare. I don't know how well you can see that, but these little words right here, they actually say boy. And obviously, you can see that sticking out there. The ultrasound tech did say that there is no mistake in it. It is definitely a boy. So that's kind of cool. I honestly didn't care either way, as long as I bring home a healthy baby. My fiance couldn't care either way. Of course, he was extremely happy when he found out I was a boy, but he really didn't care either way. So everything's been going very well. I am on 4-week visits now, so I don't go back until December 6th. At first, after I had the cerclage, they were checking me every 2 weeks. I believe for 4 weeks. So they checked me 2 weeks after the cerclage and then 2 weeks after that. So I had every other week checkups. But since my last doctor's visit, I am now having 4-week checkups since everything's going very well. Which, you know, I'm happy. I'm out of breath, guys. I don't know why. I've just been out of breath a lot here lately. Which I'm kind of happy about, you know, because if everything's going very well, that's a great sign, you know. But I kind of wish they did check you every 2 weeks, just because I just feel like it would ease some worrying a little bit. I kind of feel like that if something was to go wrong with the cerclage, or I started funneling or something like that, if I'm not having checkups until every 4 weeks, maybe they wouldn't catch it in time. But I'm not going to worry about that because everything's going to be fine. I did have someone send me a message on one of my previous videos asking me that the day that I had the cerclage done, before I left the hospital, did they check the baby's heartbeat? Yes, they did. They checked the baby's heartbeat with a Doppler, and they made sure that the baby was fine before I left. All they can really do is check the heartbeat. I don't think that the cerclage can actually damage the baby itself. But what could happen, I mean, I've read horror stories, trust me. I mean, I've been doing research about a cerclage for the last few years, because I've known since 2008 that I was going to have this done the next time that I got pregnant. And it's 2012. So for the last few years, I have read a lot of information on the internet. Some of it was helpful and some of it wasn't. Some of it eased my worry and some of it just made the worrying worse. So you really have to be careful with the stuff that you read on the internet. And, you know, I think YouTube helped out a lot. There isn't very many women on YouTube that vlog their experience about their cerclage. There is quite a few, but not a whole lot. So it's kind of hard to, you know, get that, I don't know what you want to call it, inspiration maybe, you know, but just don't worry a whole lot and just say a lot of prayers and just keep the faith. I don't know if you can hear that, but my dog is over here sleeping and he's snoring. I wanted to tell you guys, yesterday I tried to make a video, and while I was in the middle of making the video, my cats were downstairs and they had knocked over their food bowl and food went all over the floor. So I had to completely scratch that. I also got a new phone, so the video quality in my last video is a lot better than the video quality that was in my 3 videos before that. So I'm kind of glad about that. It takes HD video footage, so it's a little better. But if you have any questions or comments about the cerclage, don't be afraid to ask me. I get the messages through my phone, so I will try to reply to you as fast as I can. The best thing to do, I did touch base with this on my first video, my very first video, my experience with the cerclage. The best advice that I can give you is to not have sex after you get the cerclage. I know women who have had sex, and then I know women who haven't. And, well, not personally, but I know, I've heard stories. And I do know one woman, or 2 women personally. Just 2. One who had the cerclage 3 times and didn't have sex. And one who had the cerclage 3 times and did have sex. And they both had healthy pregnancies the whole time. But I personally, I don't recommend it. No sex. We've still not been having any sex. Everything's been working out very well. There's been no complications during this pregnancy, and I just don't want to take the risk. My water ruptured with both of my last pregnancies in the 2nd trimester, and, you know, if you're not being checked routinely, they're not going to know that your cervix may act funny. So they may not put you on pelvic rest, is what they call it whenever they tell you no sex. They call it pelvic rest. And it's just, I mean, I'm no doctor, but I just don't recommend it. Stay away from any type of sex, stimulation, whatever. Stay away from it. It's just not worth it. You can do your research on the internet, and you can look at medical websites, and they will tell you, you know, when a woman has an orgasm, her body sends all these hormones through her body, and her uterus contracts, and it's just too much going on when you have a cerclage. And a cerclage is a stitch around your cervix. It's a foreign object inside your body. You know, so your body is already going to be responding to it, you know, like, hey, this is not supposed to be there. So when you're irritating it and you're messing around with it, then it's just not any good, because it's, you know, it's just, you know, it opens the door for bad things to happen. So I just don't recommend it. I'm sorry, I'm so out of breath. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I was missing, because I've been waiting to do this. Oh, and like I said before, I still haven't been receiving any of those weird incidences, like those weird uncomfortable feelings. They haven't came back. I did want to tell you guys too, I still have been getting the Charlie pains in my legs. I actually got one last night and it was bad. I went to the doctor today, or not the doctor, but the grocery store. I went to the grocery store today and bought some more bananas. So I plan on chowing down on those. But I did hear from my mother. She said she got a lot of Charlie horse pains in her legs when she was pregnant with me. She told me to eat the bananas, and that's about all you can do, and drink lots of water. And she also told me that when you, like, because I get them in my calves, which is where she got them, and she said when you arch your foot and, like, kind of massage it, your leg, while you're having the pain, that it tends to make it go away a little faster. And I tried that last night, and believe it or not, as soon as I arched my foot, it went away. As soon as I, like, pointed my, you know, my foot out and, like, arched my foot, the pain went away. And it was really short, and I was surprised. I was like, wow, that actually worked. But they can be extremely painful. I mean, they wake me up out of a dead sleep every time I get them. I've had more than a handful of them so far. So I'm trying to eat bananas and drink lots of water and all that good stuff. So I go back to the doctor December 6th, and they will check the cerclage, of course, and I'm sure everything will be fine. I wanted to tell you guys something else too. Oh yeah, I had my test done for the Down syndrome and cystic fibrosis, and everything came back negative. Or no, I had my test done for the Down syndrome, but not for the cystic fibrosis. I can't really say those words. Which the nurse, she said that too. She was like, I really don't understand why you would have had one test done and not the other. She's like, maybe you did have the test done, but it's just not in the computer. She was like, maybe there was a mistake made. Do you want to have the test done? I said, honestly, what's the point? I said, there's nothing you guys can do for the baby if the baby does show positive signs for having those. And she was like, you're right. There is nothing we can do. And I was like, and you know, it's just going to make me worry even more for the rest of my pregnancy than what I already am. So, you know, I'm not that worried about it. Let's not even bother with it, you know. So she said, yeah, you're probably right. It's probably just best that way. And it doesn't run in my family, so the chances of me having something like that or the baby having something like that is just pretty low. So anyways, that's my pregnancy update for 21 weeks. And if you have any questions or comments, leave those below, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. And I will keep you guys updated and posted throughout my pregnancy. But now the videos will probably start to get a little shorter and a little bit more space in between them, just because I've gotten through most of it already. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.